this neighborhood when we came here, but I think when we added this section of the house that we're sitting in now a couple of years ago, it was sort of in response to that. This house is really small. We're about to have 2 kids. What are we going to do? We're going to move out of this neighborhood. We just really couldn't bear the thought, I think, of leaving because of the previous 5 years of sort of getting to know our neighbors and seeing the type of people that are drawn to this community. And I think probably in a city like Memphis, there just aren't that many places where people stay because of some sort of common bond. And it's not here in this community, it's not a religion, and it's not a hobby, and it's not really a way of life in any way. But it seems to be there's some sort of thread that goes throughout everyone, not everyone, but the people who are involved in all the things, many of the things that you mentioned through your stories, of just being engaged and caring in some level about the person next to you. And it's really unique to me. I mean, I haven't really lived in another community other than downtown and then really, throughout Midtown, but much younger and not in that, settle down mentality probably. So it seems, I guess that's the best way to describe it. It's sort of a thread that just sort of runs through a lot of people in this neighborhood of, this is my community, I'm going to help. And if it's by cooking a pot of chili for the fundraiser we're going to have next month at the school, then they cook a pot of chili. And if 50 people show up, they don't care. They're there to have a good time, and they cook the chili, and they meet their neighbors, and it's what they do. It's their life. And or if it's, start the MLGCC, the Gay and Lesbian Center, that affects, hundreds of lives, and it's just a grand project. I mean, there's both ends of that spectrum around here, and people respond to that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's a really unique place. You hear folks come from other towns that we would all think of as progressive, like Portland or maybe New York City or San Francisco, and they gravitate toward this community when they come to Memphis. And I've heard more than one person say it's just better here. There's just so much opportunity for me to do something and to be involved in some change. There's so few barriers to getting involved in things if you want to, and those people seem to gravitate toward Cooper Young and Midtown.
Yeah, I would say that I think Memphis as a whole is kind of like that. That if you want to, get involved and make a difference, you can do that in Memphis probably a lot easier than you can a lot of the cities. But I think Cooper Young is like a really good microcosm of that because there are kind of structures in place to be able to do that. I was on the board of the Cooper Young Community Association for the past 2 years, and it was not something that was hard to do. Like hard to get into. It was just if you are interested in being